I'm good. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, dude. You are in your shop today.
Yeah. Yes, everything is always in this constant state of disarray. And like this year, I was like, I'm gonna get my collection. I'm gonna get it in order. I'm gonna get it up real nice. I'm gonna make it look great. And every time I get it about 80% done, I'm like, fuck this, man. And I pull it all out and redo it. So like even everything in my office is a complete mess. I can't I can't get it together. See, like I see your collection always looks so nice. And I look back at the video of you doing like a tour of I love seeing other people's collections. And mine just I don't know, I just can't I just can't get it together in a nice display. I have a problem with it. And then, you know, that anyway, everything's always in this constant state of disarray.
Well, your shop, you know, I mean, that's kind of expected. The collection, you know what I mean? It's like it's organized at sometimes it's not. Dude, let's talk about, first of all, you know what I didn't say to everybody when we first started off? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Crumbs. Happy New Year, Scott.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you.
All right. Now that that's out of the way. That piece on your bench back there, dude, that was the piece that was on display at DCon. God, that's great, dude.
Yeah,
can you lift that up?
Yeah.
There were some people that had mentioned that actually in the comments. And I hooked up with you at DCon and we talked about that. And you kind of told me the story behind it. Dude, now this was on display at the Four Horsemen booth, correct?
Yeah, this is a Four Horsemen toy, Valiant Knight. And they were doing a custom show. This right here. And, you know, the Four Horsemen stuff is so great. And I looked at it, I'm like, well, I don't know how I'm gonna even improve on this. Like, what could I do to make this cooler? Because it's so cool already. And so I was like, well, I'll build something around it, you know. It was George Gaspar who asked me to be in the show. And I was about ready to ship it out. I made this whole thing. And I reached out to George and I go, hey, I made this diorama, but I didn't actually do anything to the toy. I'm like, is that okay? And he's like, Scott, it's a custom show. He's like, you have to customize the toy. And like, he's like, just spray like some green paint on it. So that's why it says like, you know, it's sort of like a evil radiating out of this. This is this is from Dungeons and Dragons. It's from the Tomb of Horrors. It's they used to do Dungeons and Dragons. They used to do tournament play in the 70s, and Gary Gygax, one of the creators of Dungeons and Dragons, created the Tomb of Horrors as a way to cripple his players and crush their spirit. And it's awful and everyone hates it, but this is a part of it. If you stick your hand in it, or if you put anything inside of this mouth, you are, you know, instantly dead. Anyway,
dude, I love how you said that matter-of-factly. Sorry.
What's that?
Like,
go ahead.
I love how it's just so matter-of-factly. You put anything in there and it's dead. Just
it's the sphere of obliteration or something like that is the spell. But actually, you know, the thing that doesn't get any play on this is that this comes apart magnetically too. So like this.
Now is that foam?
Yeah, it's like diorama foam. It's like insulation foam.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Look at that, and then it pops right back together. So yeah, that was my entry there, and it came down to the wire, and I was like, I've got DesignerCon stuff to do.
Yeah, dude. I mean, what was the whole basis around that setup with Four Horsemen, man? I know that there was like a theme to what was going on there.
Yeah, it was Valiant Knight. This toy, I think they were celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the release of this toy.
Gotcha.
And so like the Creature Bazaar guys all got one. Sucklord did one. Healy made one, and Eddie Resin Blood made one.
Yeah, I think Sucklord had one, right?
Yeah, Sucklord had one. I'm trying to think. I'm forgetting a couple of them, but I mean, like, you know, Chris Ulrich, who's a painter, he's an artist who is amazing. He did like a whole background, painted a whole painting. It was amazing. So.
Oh yeah, dude, that one was wild. That one was sick.
And he had a painted shield and stuff. Yeah, it was cool.
I think the green on the arm, dude, as simple as that is, and such a small detail. I think that's a small detail that totally makes that whole shit.
Dude, I think it turned out great. Yeah, it was a great suggestion by the great George Gaspar. You guys should have him on. He's. Have you had George?
Double G Toys? I don't think we have.
He's amazing, dude. He's been a toy sculptor since the 90s.
I think we might be too afraid. It might be that they are so big that we haven't yet.
No, he's great. He's helped me out so much. The stuff that he's done, he was like a killer robot on tour with White Zombie one time with Rob Zombie. He like created like a giant killer robot suit, and they were like, he was like, this is how this robot suit works. I'm stealing his story, but he's like, this is how this killer robot works, and they were like, well, fuck it, man, you just want to go on tour with us? So he like was one of the giant killer robots on tour with Rob Zombie. He's just got thousands of stories. He's amazing dude. But yeah, he's been a toy sculptor since the 90s. He's amazing. Amazing dude. I love the guy. He helped me make the Necrovenger. He's helped me with a lot.
Necrovenger, boom. Let's talk about that. Your new vinyl piece. So this is the one that I got at Designer Con. And I believe Abe got the same one. This one is super sick, man. Your color fade on this with the green and gold. And then the eye right here in the chest.
Thank you.
Articulated in the arms.
Waist and head, yeah.
Who's pulling your vinyl?
George. Well, it's, I got it set up through George. That's like the gatekeepery thing there too, I mean, well, it's not just that, but so many also like once you start making toys, I get hit up probably like once a week by vinyl factories that are like, we want to make your toy. So like, I don't know, if you want to reach out, I'll tell you or I'll help you. But I mean, like, there again, like, I feel like when I started making vinyl toys, I felt like it was a graduation to the next level, but really what it is starting all over again. It's like going through high school. You're a senior, you're a big man on campus, but then when you go to college, you got to start all over again. And I don't know. I didn't go to college. I sort of got blindsided, and I was like, I am starting all over again. This is a whole new thing.
And then potentially less gatekeepery. I just want to bug you. How the hell are you doing this eye in the chest plate thing? Is that something we can bug you about?
Sure.
I'm gonna pull up a screenshot of it here, a picture of the page.
If I know how to, I'll tell you. So that is, the original sculpt. I had that idea that I wanted to do something in the chest plate like that. So I sculpted that just flat, and so then when it came, I just took a clear one. When the vinyls actually arrived, I took a clear one, I split it in half, and then I sculpted the eye. There's also like a spine in the back. I sculpted the eye so it would match up with the chest plate perfectly, and then I just casted it in resin. And then, here's a black one. You just have to make sure, I made sure to clear the articulation on the head and the arms, and it fits in there. That's it. People, they're like, wow, that hologram. I'm like, it's actually like in there. And I've had people even say to me, they're like, even though you told me that it's resin on the inside, like it still looks like a hologram. It's still like a weird illusion.
Dude, I totally thought this was a hologram, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. But
it's inside the chest. I want to do a couple other ones. I want to do a few other sculpts that go inside.
Yeah.
I figured that would be sort of the next thing that I do with the vinyl is, I'm sort of known for the double casts. So I wanted to sort of replicate that in vinyl as well. When it comes to vinyl, I don't know. I'm still so new.
Yeah.
My second toy, and I've had problems with all of the projects that I've had done in vinyl. There's always some weird problem. So, I don't know. I feel like gatekeeping is always going to be there. I mean, even look at the toy industry as a whole. Even like even the big stuff. I mean, there's at Mattel and Hasbro. There are literally spies working at Mattel for Hasbro. Like getting secrets and feeding it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, there is gatekeeping, and it's just part of the business.
Yeah. Do you think
on every scale, from the smallest guy to the biggest corporation,
Yeah.
I feel like when I first started doing resin, where some people would ask me like, well, how do you do this? And I'm like, man, you're asking the wrong guy. I sort of don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, with this, I'm sort of just learning, like George helped me find a factory, and he was sort of the in-between guy. And, I'm still trying to figure all of this out too.
Yeah.
I mean, even sculpting, I've been a sculptor for a long time. And I say even that, I said, and there's a difference between being a sculptor and a toy sculptor. Sculpting a toy is a completely different thing than sculpting, if you just want a centerpiece or whatever, So I'm always hitting up other people with my sculpture, being like, is this going to pull out of a mold? So again, I have to plead ignorance. When you take some time off, you're like, what is everyone going to think of me? And no one gives a shit. No one's paying attention. But but you think about it. And
Yeah.
but I took some time off to really think. And the rebrand was pretty simple. Is that I don't want to bootleg stuff anymore. I want to make my own toys. I want to make only original sculpts. I want to make only original stuff. It's what I said. This year I'm making toys for like 10 years, maybe a little bit longer, but I would say this year it's about 10 years. And when I first started, when I was bootlegging toys, I was like, I'm going to make these toys until I learn how to make my own toys. And I feel like I'm there. And like making a Darth Vader toy right now just wouldn't, it doesn't speak to me artistically anymore. Like doing a Darth Vader toy or a Star Wars toy, like that was basically me trying to figure out how to make a mold, and then how can I sculpt something and then make that mold. And so I'm also sort of a control freak, so it is hard to be like, here, I've made this, now you make the mold and you make the toys. So that's been a learning, that's been a process on its own. But so the rebrand is, I just want to make my own toys.
When you go to sell them and they don't sell, or people kind of balk at the price, man, what goes through your mind when you're like, dude, is there a want to like tell them like you don't understand how much work went into this?
No, don't care. You know what, man, I make this stuff, and Dove said something to me one time, and it rang very true with me. He just sort of shrugged and he goes, this stuff sells eventually. And it's true, because like when I did that He-Man, that giant blow mold He-Man with all the tattoos, that was when I started to panic. That one, I did start to panic on it. And because I had spent like a month and a half painting it. And, so like when I spent like a month on that armor, that was like an hour here, an hour there, that was sort of like a, what I would say a slow productivity thing, where you put a little bit in and then after a month you get this thing. But that He-Man, that was a crippling job. And I started off so intense on that at the end, I started losing sleep, and I'm like, I have to finish this. And like, I talked to Dove about it, and he's like, you have to finish it now. He's like, just go finish it. I'm like, but it's going to look weird if I just say like, okay, now it's done. And then there's like these big spots not painted. I'm like, I have to paint the whole thing. You have that right there.
Dude, that thing was nuts, man. I remember seeing that at DesignerCon a couple years ago, dude. That thing is, did that sell? That sold, right?
That's what I'm saying and it did sell. And so, that was a big lesson to me too, that, it sells. And also, I've never really I've been lucky that I've never had people be like, oh, that's too fucking expensive, man, I'm not going to pay that. And I've also learned that people that say that, they probably wouldn't buy it at any price.
Yeah, it's true.
Way. So I've never really experienced that, or they've said it and I haven't really paid attention to it. Putting in the work is necessary, especially toy collectors. They want a really awesome thing. They don't want a maybe it's just me, but I was gonna say they don't want a cheap, shitty thing, but I like cheap, shitty things too, you know. Um, but no, putting in the work, it's just what I do, you know.
We got you fucking early, man. We got you early.
Yeah, man.
If you start going through your stuff, so let's back up, dude, to the to the beginning of your time on Instagram. So it's roughly around 2012.
Oh God, you probably know more than me. I can't fucking remember.
Around 2012, you have some really, I mean, it is some extremely good portrait work. What was your background before coming into Instagram and posting all this stuff?
So what was I doing back then? I was mainly into clothing, so I worked in clothing for a long time. I mean, I've always drawn, always, ever since I was a kid. Carried on drawing all through university. I didn't do it at university, but I've always drawn. And then I got a job with my brother who had a clothing, he had a clothing company. He was printing embroidery. And when I took over from that, I started making my own t-shirts, and I was like, okay, cool. I need to start coming up with illustrations and coming up with stuff to print on t-shirts and hoodies and what have you. And that's kind of where it all started in terms of trying to produce stuff that I could sell.
You start posting tattoos, and it's not like a little bullshit happy face like, hey, look what I tried. Dude, you have some legit, that's some early tattoos.
That was it. Yeah, that was like my second or third tattoo, something like that. Yeah, that was quite early on.
And if you have, I mean, if you scroll up just a little bit, dude, like, what the fuck, dude? I mean, so all self-taught. This is all self-taught.
A little bit. I managed to blag myself like an apprenticeship. And like when I got into tattooing, I thought that was it, man. I thought I was going to be a tattoo artist. I thought that's it. I'm going to be a full-time artist, what have you.
Yeah.
And it just didn't quite work out. Mainly through just like time. Yeah, that's it. Like it could go. Yeah, man.
I actually have I have a timeline written down right here. January 20th, February 17th, first figure backers. February 28th, first prototype figures. March 6th, first figures available, MF Doom. So you're talking about January, learning how to use 3D modeling, till the very beginning of March, having a fully printed, painted, backed figure. Dude.
Yeah, I think the thing with the toys is like it's brought a lot of skills I've learned over the last like 20 years together. Because I've worked in clothing. I've worked with like digital illustration. Obviously, I paint anyway. So I think it was just like bringing together a lot of different skills that I've already like picked up and like transferring them. And like with the 3D printer, I've used big machining before, like large format Mimaki printers, embroidery machines, things like that. So it wasn't really that daunting for me, like getting into it. Obviously, it is a new medium and stuff, and like learning how to transfer the paint onto the models is different to painting on a piece of paper or canvas. But I'm a quick learner, clearly.
Dude, those are brilliant. Those are fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it's like the Legion of MF Doom. You've got that up there. I couldn't believe that had never been done as well. Like I had to Google that shit. I was like, I don't want to fucking bite anyone's style or take anyone's idea. So like I was like really like Googling stuff early on. Like, shit, has this been done? Has it not been done? And so yeah, I had to double check.
You can tell that there's a lot of time involved in the paint apps there. I don't know how long that takes, so I shouldn't say that, but it looks like there's definitely a lot of detail in there. Compared to the frustration with tattoos, where you have that whole process where that process, everything that you named in that kind of pre-tattoo stuff, I assume that you're not getting paid for, and that's part of the frustration there. Does any of that carry over to figure making when you're doing stuff like this and printing it and putting so much time in the front end, and then you sell it on the back end? Do you ever think that, like, man, I need to raise my prices, or man, this isn't really worth it to me? Or does the nostalgia kind of kick in and say, man, this is so much funner than doing tattoos?
100%.
Worth it.
Like I'm not doing this to make money. In fact, I don't really make much money from my figures.
Yeah.
Not when you look at how much time I put into it. As you mentioned, the paint apps. Like, so look at the Legion of MF Doom figure there. They probably take me 6-7 hours to paint, maybe longer. I don't know. And I was selling them for 35, 40 quid. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm not doing it to make money. I'm doing it because I actually just want to make it. And I kind of sell them so I can make the next figure. So that's kind of how I price it. So it's like, if I sell this or sell these figures, then I can buy more resin, I can buy more paints, I can make the next thing, because as you say, it's about the nostalgia. And I also want it to be accessible. Like you do see, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking any of the artists. You price it however you see fit. But some of the stuff is like really, really like dear. very, very expensive. Like I mentioned, Trap Toys, unbelievable work, incredible. But like some of his prices are just insane, man. I couldn't imagine charging like 200 quid for it. I don't know. That's just like how I feel.
Yeah.
I think it's down to the artist, like what you think your work is worth. But for me, I'd much rather it be accessible and people buy it rather than it just sit on my shelf for the next like 6 months saying, oh yeah, that's worth 200 quid. So that's kind of how I price it. It's like sell it, make the next one. You know, I've got like books and pages of ideas and stuff I want to make. I don't want to be sitting there on models going, oh, I wish I'd sell this so I could fucking buy some more resin, you know?
Right.
Speaking of selling it though, people should slide over to your shop and buy some stuff.
Yeah, man. Too right. Actually, when you put your post up, I sold a couple of things. So I was like,
Yeah.
no, this is worked straight away. So I did a Ghostface one for Mint on Card, and I did the Iron Man mashup with it. And I was so surprised that hasn't been done before. I've actually got it right here, the little figure. So that was my version.
Clean.
The thing that got me was like, so this is their version, which is nice. But I actually think my likeness is a bit better.
I think it is.
Just saying, Super 7, hook me up.
I think Ghostface would probably appreciate your version a little bit better too, man. You got him all.
Yeah, definitely.
Check that out. What challenges are you running across?
I'll tell you what the biggest one for me is blisters. Trying to get hold of good blisters, man.
Yeah.
I know that you've got loads in America. I see them on Etsy and they're dirt cheap, but to ship them over here costs a fortune. And there's no one in the UK that actually makes good blisters, man. So that is like one of the most annoying things. And I ship some from China, but you never know how long they're going to take. And that's one of the most annoying things for me with making toys is trying to find some good fucking blisters, man.
Yeah.
And they're cheap.
You know, I noticed on some of your very first pieces, dude, you were using the bubble at the end, but you had them magnetized on there.
Yeah, I've been that off pretty quickly, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was? I sold one to a guy. I think it was the Mace Windu or the Meth Windu one. And he messaged me a few days later saying, oh, it's broke. The toy's broke. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? Toy's broke. It was like strapped in with the twisties and what have you. And what had happened was he took the twisties off and then put it on his shelf, and it'd fallen forward and knocked the blister because it's only magnetized. So with a bit of force, so it fell and smashed. And I was just like, do you know what? That's going to be an issue, man. That's going to be an issue. So I tend to use the clamshell ones now that you can open.
Yeah.
That works so much better. So for the, I know we're getting onto the giveaways later, but like on the Shrek ones,
yeah,
it's got like the clamshell, so you can.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you can take them out, and that way it fits nice and securely back on. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I tend to try and use those now, because I know that some people do want to take them out. So it is nice, which is what was good with the magnets. But yeah, man, after that, I was like, fuck it, man, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options out there. What I like about your style is that you do have that removable piece, so you can kind of display them separately if you want. Sometimes it's all about the backer, and you don't want to take it out. And I have plenty of those too. But yeah. I do when it comes to blisters. There's a lot of different options. There's a couple people in the comments talking about making your own blisters with a vacuum.
Yeah.
Have you looked into that at all?
I have, but yeah, I know the machinery is quite expensive. But if you've got any shortcuts, then please drop me a message and inform me, educate me on blisters, man, because that is my downfall, definitely. So I think the first one was that was Last of the Mohicans. This one, so that's a 3.75 scale. This one doesn't have the clamshell. This one is actually stuck down. So we've got that one, and yeah.
Is that
that was that was mental?
Yeah. Did you get help for that one, or was that all you? All you? Oh shit, that's a lot of work, dude.
Oh man, that was a tough week.
Yeah.
Did you see the figure?
I did see the figure.
Did you see the figure?
I did see the figure. And doing that 60 times, that's the funny part about it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I painted 60 little dicks, basically, is what I painted.
You know what's so funny on there, dude? I saw that, and I think that was from like August of last year, right? And
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I see the first fucking comment on there. Who was it from? Fucking Crumbs, dude. That's the first.
Was it?
On the production
Amazing.
one. But yeah, dude, that's I mean, I would say I think you probably already answered it, dude. But doing high number runs like that, that's got to be tough, dude. Is that something that you'd ever want to get into?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Like, it was a good challenge. That's what it was. And like, because of my production background, I was like, I just went into full production mode. Like just broke it down as simple as I could.
Yeah.
You know, like print, sand, prime, and then base layer, and it was just literally like ching ching. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it was the most fun I've had making toys, but it was an experience. And yeah, like I mean, it was too good to refuse, man. 60 toys. I was like, fuck it, man, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And it was a nice little money earner. You know, I can't complain too much. They obviously didn't pay like top dollar for it, but yeah, I made a decent amount of money from it, and it was a tough week. I timed it so I had a week off work, so I literally fucking for the whole week just smashed it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a funny figure to do.
Yeah,
It really was.
that's funny, man.
Do you know who that guy? Do you know who that guy is?
I don't.
Yeah, so he's like a pioneer for body piercing in the UK. Yeah, he was a tattooist as well. So he was like a big figure. So that it was for a piercing board. This was they were having like a big conference, and that was a giveaway for their members. And I thought, oh, this is fucking great. I'm gonna have like 60 people getting one of my toys, and yeah, I'm gonna get loads of Instagram, lots of social media stuff, and literally not one person posted it.
Oh.
I was like, fuck you now, man. Like this is great. Don't get me wrong. Like this is one of the positives. Like meeting other artists and getting on platforms and stuff, and that's amazing. But I do find, as you say, like the content creation, you can make the best video in the fucking world and you get 40 views, and then some fucking douchebag puts out some shitty fucking video. It's got like 2 million views, and it's just like, why? Like I don't get it. I don't get why. Believe me, I'm not complaining. As I say, like it's amazing that I'm on a show talking about toys, and I'm barely a year into it. So yeah, I'm not necessarily complaining. I just find it a slog, man. I just find social media, just in general, a bit of a slog, with generally very little reward. This is obviously one of the rewards, but it doesn't always go that way. And like I love the making of toys, and I just hate the bit after, like trying to get a good photo and trying to write a good post. And yeah, I just find that probably the hardest part. The rest the bit before is so enjoyable, and then that last little bit of trying to get a good photo and trying to make it cool and trying to make it, you know, appeal or go to the algorithm or whatever, that's the hardest bit, man.
This is gonna be a good one, dude. Thank you everybody joining on the replay. If you're doing so, we are gonna get into some shit tonight, buddy. Video games, nostalgia is thick.
That's where my nerves are.
I
right
don't
now,
know
Brian.
what you have against an intro. Every time that we do an intro, about 3 minutes into it, you start talking about people in the waiting room and how you don't want people waiting in the waiting room. It's a waiting room.
I just feel so
For that
dirty. I feel
reason.
so bad, man.
Hey, can we catch up, me and you first? I care about you, Crumbs. Okay, I'm not just using you for your magic behind the screen.
Resin blood. My apologies.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna fire them in one by one.
Yes. How about that? First of all,
Hey.
good evening to everybody. Thank you for joining. Man,
We all
you know
muted.
what? Okay, first of all, we've never had this many people on the screen at one time. That is for sure. I think the last time that we did this, it was like maybe 4 or 5. Matt, let's start off with you, dude. So new venue this year. You mentioned over 60 artists.
Yeah.
Previously, I think the previous one was, I think you topped out at like, what, around 35? Something
Yeah.
like that as far as artists go. So, dude, what drove this to get to a larger space and get some more artists in there?
Well, I mean, you just answered the question right there is to get more artists in there. Like last 2 years we were at Gray Eagle, which you were there, B, so you saw how big that space was. And there were just so many other artists that wanted to participate, and there was just no other space available to grow into here in Asheville. And then this space presented itself to me through an associate of mine. It's a new space, which is why nobody's ever heard of it. But, you know, I realized going into year 7, it's probably not important where it is. It's just a matter of, you know, can we fit more people in there? So, you know, we doubled our numbers. It's record breaking. It's going to be great.
First initial going into it, man, what kind of expectations do you have coming to Assembly Required? I'm assuming that you followed the show, you know, in the past years that it's been, so you kind of know how many artists are there and, you know, kind of the flow of people. I know it's hard to see from online, but what are your expectations going in?
Yeah, expectations, just you know, looking forward to meeting everyone in person finally, and yeah, just being able to see everyone's stuff in person, and yeah, connect with some other resin artists would be.
To do any of this,
I started months ago. I feel like I basically started like when I got home from last year's show. I just started putting stuff in boxes. I'm almost there. I keep telling myself like this is it. This is the last one, and then I look around and I start to get that feeling like before Christmas where I'm like I don't have enough.
But dude, what is the plan for this year, man? Are you doing something similar?
It's similar. The layout is kind of the same, just a little bit different. It's actually behind me. There's
Shit.
242 so far.
You know, all these guys are talking about, you know, what's enough to bring, and it's like this show is like a show. I in my head, in my world, it's the action figure show. Like, and you know, it's like, how do you not bring a lot? And all your friends who do this seriously or super into this are going to be there, and so even if you don't sell it, you want to show what you've been doing. It's like, you know, exactly. So yeah, what's enough to bring? I don't know. I bring just as much to AR as I bring to Decon.
But for me, I mean, look, like it's, you know, it's a long trip and everything, and Grayskull and I have plans to like stop at a bunch of other places along the way. So the whole thing is just an adventure, and if I can, you know, take some of the stuff that I'm bringing and like flip it to cash to buy more stuff to bring home, I'm all good.
What are you looking forward to, or what's going to make it a winner for you this year?
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Yeah, I have different goals. This will be my 4th Assembly Required and my 3rd time boothing with Grants over in the corner there. We've got a 3rd booth mate this year. But what does success look like besides Jerry Rice success?
Yes.
Yes. We'll have to do a starting lineup episode one of these days, by the way. But what does success look like for me? You know, the important part of my life is being a dad, and this is one of the few times that I sort of get to show the side of myself in person to other people. So that's a big thing for me, just sort of expressing myself through the things that I make. But also, you know, I have sort of a dollar figure in mind that I would like, and I always want to buy so much stuff, and I just, with daycare payments and stuff like that, I never can buy as much stuff as I want to there. But buying a few things that are cherished items from some of the people on this call and that are going to be there is also a success, supporting the community as well.
So yeah, I don't have everything that I want to have, but I think everybody's sort of in that same boat. And I think if you're not panicking at this point, you're doing something wrong.
The people who live there, the locals seem to just like art and appreciate art or be naturally curious or something like that. But it seems like
very open-minded.
Yeah, and over the years, some of my most memorable interactions have been with people who, like civilians who wander in and say like, God, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, I know, right? And you know, it's just exciting to talk to those people who have, you know,
for a table mate because I didn't even know if I could make enough stuff to fill a table, but I wanted to go. And Trey Z's hooked me up with Kajiki and made it happen. And then just talking with Yo-Yo Dine on the side, and just decided to road trip it down together. So get to make some good connections, just getting there.
I think what some of the major shows forget is, the whole reason why this culture exists is because you guys. You're the star, you're the movie stars. So, when I started doing this, doing the artist announcements and all this stuff, like the whole point is to get you guys out there, get your names, get your work, get everything seen. And I'm honored that I have a platform that I can do that now, that I can just keep elevating and getting your names out there. I'm disappointed that I don't see stuff like that from the bigger shows.
I don't like the idea of having to feed the machine to be a content creator and a maker. Like, I would rather just make the work than undergo the performance of making the work for an audience, if you know what I mean.
The setup of Assembly Required, I think, is really good because there's sort of an intimate quality to it. So you can sort of listen into what the customer or the artist is talking about at the next table, and you can sort of transition that, right? And sometimes you sort of get these little cliques of people that are next to each other, and you might hear somebody say they're interested in something, and you might say, well, I don't have this, but this person over here has this particular subject matter or type of art that you might be interested in. And I probably drive Grant crazy when I do this because I do my big salesman routine with him, and I sort of, and Grant has all this great stuff here that's better than mine. Check this out, kind of thing. But I really like the vibe because not only do you get to meet all the artists beforehand, and you sort of get that camaraderie, but you can also sort of help them too, as well as sort of selfishly listen in and sort of anticipate the next person coming over. And I don't know.
Always make sure any show you do, you have something that's like at least $20 or.
Yeah, you got to have little stuff in the front there.
Yeah, if everything's, especially at AR, people want to buy a lot of stuff. They don't want to buy one big $200 toy. It's definitely not the thing there. So I made that mistake my first year. Everything was $50 and up, and I was like, I just need something, $25, $20, $10. I don't really like to sell action figures for $10, but yeah.
That's something that I learned from last year too, is to bring more lower priced items than I had the previous year. So I'm trying to get a good balance of a price range here, but also have stuff that is priced a little bit lower, because it's something. Then it's another person who's got something that I made in their collection on their shelf, and that's the best thing.
Oh, you brought us all back on.
Oh, I didn't touch it. I was like, you know what? If we're just starting this off hot, why not? It's fun.
Hey, anyways, tonight we have Jazz Wizard, Space Punk, Kajiki Toys, Professor Pikmin, and the General Porpoise, who is here. That is the General Porpoise there. That's so good, dude. How long have you had that for? That must be newly acquired. Surely we would have seen that in the past.
I think they rocked it in the past.
Did he?
Please don't communicate with.
Gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. I'm sure that it is extremely busy. What's the feels, man? You got to be excited about going. It's got to be a little bit surreal. It'll probably hit you even more when you get there and get in front of all these guys. But
yeah.
Excited, I'm sure. Yes,
I'm excited to stand in line Saturday morning with my ticket, just like everybody else, and go in. Hi, everybody. I'm just gonna straight pimp walk in there like King Lover himself.
Going into AR, man, is this going to be the first show that you've done?
Yep, first toy show. I've done art shows and markets before. I do 2D art stuff. But yeah, first one vending toys.
Yeah, and are you still making pieces for the show, or are you wrapped up and ready to go?
I'm at a place where if I didn't get to work on anything else, I'd be fine. But anything that I get done tonight or tomorrow is just extra. I get a few cool things that I would like to have, but as far as my main stuff, I think I hit all my goals as far as getting everything done.
I am not ready. I'm putting in magnets right now, and I think I'm discovering I'm 1/4 inch magnet short from my goal on some of my figures. So if anybody's got any 1/4 inch magnets, they want to bring one for me.
You said 1/4 inch?
Yeah, 1/4 inch.
I'll need to check what size, but I might have you.
I am not ready. I'm close, but I'm not ready. I am still putting a couple pieces together and packing boxes and trying to find things that are missing. I'm missing the
AR, it's always a great time, dude. What usually, when you look back, once you get home from AR, what makes you look back and say, God dang, that was fun?
It's, you know, I know we've talked about this before, you and I specifically, but it's the sense of it being toy summer camp. It's
Sure.
getting there and seeing all of the people that you haven't seen in a year, getting to hang out. You know, Brennan, yeah, we would all be happy if we could sell a bunch of shit and break even. But I know me personally, AR is such it's such a great marketing tool in itself that just by being there after the show, my online sales pick up. So just being there in any sense is a success.
So pretty much everything, actually everything I have is going to be $25 and below. So I have stuff as little as $2 that I'm going to be getting rid of. So tiny things, but you know, it's like trying to go for that kind of range because it doesn't make much sense for me to make a bunch of larger pieces and then just have them sit and then try and move them on the website, which I can do, but you know, I would love to, you know, what I bring, if I could sell it, that'd be awesome. That's not the end goal, you know, just like with all these guys, last year at AR was my first year and it was such a fucking awesome time getting to meet everybody and hang out and, you know, drink beers, you know, just like run around and, you know, talk to them, look at everything they're doing, see some of this stuff up close and personal, you know, like we don't all get a chance to pick up each other's stuff all the time. So even just getting to look at it, it's like, whoa, okay, I saw pictures of this, but you see it in person and it's a whole different experience. So that is, that's my main focus. I would be going back. I mean, I almost thought of just like, fuck it, I'm just going to go and not even display anything. Just go because it's like, it's a toy holiday. This is my vacation. I have not taken another vacation.
I guess like the hard part is kind of like gauging, you know, how many copies of something do I make? Because like I'm bringing a decent amount of like one-off stuff, but I'm bringing a lot of things that I have, you know, like 3 to 5 of or whatever. And it's like, oh, I don't know which one, you know, people are going to be more interested in, but it's always like impossible to predict that kind of thing.
I am notoriously terrible at staying at my booth, so I will very frequently, you know, have someone like holler to me and be like, "Hey, Pigman, there's someone that wants to buy something from you. Get back to your booth," because I'll just be out talking to people like, "Oh,
How goes it?
It's measuring over there."
Yeah, I'm pouring last minute like giveaway to people I know.
Well, I'm sharing a room with Pocket, so I'm gonna be like working the lights for him while he strips.
Nice.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go to
I plan on showing up to make it rain for you.
No, I'll
go.
take it because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to sell any of the weird shit I made.
I went last year and like it was kind of one of the things that pushed me over the cliff of jumping in and doing some stuff myself. Like it was a really good vibe. So I think it's a great show to have for a first show. Any kind of art, like if you're making stuff you like, who cares?
Yeah.
That you just gave my answer for what makes a successful artist, and that's make
Right.
art you like.
Yeah, I think that's come up a lot where it's like everybody here is kind of in agreement that it's like first and foremost we're making things that we want,
right?
And that shows in the quality of our work that it's like we're making stuff that we would enjoy, and by extension, like you do a better job with stuff that you personally would be interested in, and then the people that are looking at it see that the result is better because yourself is in it more.
Yeah.
And so it's like
Keep everything out. Keep everything accessible.
Something I'm doing this year very specifically, but along these same lines is I'm going to have a section of the table that is just like a play test area, so people can actually play with like some of the new Pikmin's dough sets.
Talk about the AR Bowl, you know, assembly required 2025, man. This is going to be a tight matchup. But I think Coach Matt has really pulled together a great lineup of teams. I think when these people line up to come into the show, you know, they're going to be facing an offensive lineup pretty sick, a defensive lineup pretty sick. I mean, look at the starting lineup. Like you got Resin Blood slinging bombers left and right. You know, he's throwing Sofubi, he's throwing Resin. You got this guy, what's his name? General Porpoise. Like his name is General. I mean, just a sick guy. He's gonna just run through everybody. And I don't know. This is gonna be one of the best bowl games I've ever seen. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm gonna be in a booth with Porpoise. I'm gonna be throwing darts at his face all day, pitballs, whatever. I'm gonna be throwing secret messages across the room at Pocket. Like, do you want to go to prom with me tonight? Yes or no?
I'm bringing stuff that I haven't even made yet, like my Choco Taco here.
But if you have the ability to just start planning now to be able to go next year, I think I'd love to see any of you guys in the chat over there. It's worth it. And Asheville's a beautiful place to hang out. So just make it happen.
Pope Toys, man, what a beautiful dog, dude. Holy smokes. Pope Toys, what's up, man? You're on mute. Just a heads up, I didn't want you to get caught in that trap right there.
Hello. Yeah. My name is Christian, and I am Pope Toys. My really good friend Joel got us together to play Dungeons and Dragons, and then immediately I was like, well, wait, don't they use miniatures? And like I was like, well, I'm an adult, and this is an excuse to play with toys again. Like, okay, great. But then it just kind of took over. Like, this is the hobby now, like making toys and stuff. Like, I used the Lego peg as my pour spout. I kind of super glued it onto some straws or something to get the resin in there.
Right.
But I just didn't like the way it turned out. I couldn't do what I do if people didn't give their knowledge out on the internet. Like, I mean, Craftsman, everyone says his name. There's a reason he's the best. But I am coming around to liking painting. But pouring the resin is still a little bit more fun. The kit bash is the best part for me. That's the best. Just gluing together toys, seeing what you can come up with. Honestly, like, it's one thing to hold like a kit bash in your hand. It's like, yeah, this is a toy. It used to be this and this and this and this, and now it's this. But to like, if once you make a copy of something, it's like, yeah, now it's mine. Like, I don't know. That's what it feels like to me. The best hack I found was like just the mica powder on the mold itself. Craftsman did a video on that like a long time ago. He did those. I can't remember what he called them. They were the aguas, and he did a glitter one, and he sprinkled glitter in the mold, dumped out the excess. So it was just stuck to the walls of the silicone, and then he poured the resin in. And I do that with mica powder now. Well, I use a brush and I just dust it in. This is our son's first Christmas tree, so we kind of.
Oh shit!
That's kind of fun too.
Wow, dude. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, no one writing notes down, dude. But like you, dude, like casting like sentimental shit and resin into toys like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be something new.
This is. I'm not telling people to make this, but this is 3-inch ABS toilet pipe with a bike spout. That's my pressure pot. Every figure came out of this.
Dog.
You know what? The Vaders didn't come out of this because the mold was too big. So that's why they're all full of bubbles, and that's why nobody's getting any of them.
Bro, what? Wait, what? I've never even
Man,
seen.
I love that, dude. That has me. I'm hard. I'm so hard right now.
What the fuck, dude?
It's about $30 at the hardware store. Make sure the glue sets before you put any pressure in it. Not that I'm saying to do this, but if you do this, let the glue sit overnight, because I didn't, and it totally popped on me, and it was very scary. I think I had probably 50 psi in there, and she let go. But my wife heard that one from upstairs. She's like, "What are you doing down there?" I was like, "Nothing." She could tell I screwed up. But yeah, no, it's just I put this in there. That's off baby snacks, just because there's a bump in the bottom from that. So that just keeps them from falling around. I don't know. Don't make this. Get a pressure pot. But
Dude, I can't believe that you're producing the shit that you're producing. Why the stand? I think it's fucking great, man. No,
they don't fall over. Look at these tiny little feet.
Dude, I mean, you can clearly see it right there. Like, excuse my language, but what the fuck, dude? Like, I saw that shit the first time, and I'm like, I shit you not, bro. That's one of the coolest fucking 3.75s I've seen in a while. Not only the color combo like that, just the figure alone, but that headpiece, bro. Like,
and I cast the brains in that same UV resin with glow powder. So I'll cast the pink or whatever it happens to be. Cast that, paint it, and then cast it again. And then before the final layer goes on, I'll do a different color glow resin underneath, just to give it like a cool little underglow. And like for anyone looking to follow along, this is probably gonna be the coolest thing I ever made. This is it. I don't know how I'll. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I don't know how I'm going to do better than that, and that's okay. But this is my favorite thing that I've made.
Dude, I mean, like, holy shit, dude, it's got the look. You know what I mean? But and it will get better than that, dude, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up getting that process right there, and you're going to end up duplicating that process in other pieces, and it's going to be fucking dope, dude.
I just take the head after it's painted and roll it in the UV resin first, and then fill the helmet with UV resin, drop it in, and I hold it while it cures. I use this same clip. This is what I use. There's got to be a better way, but this is what I'm doing right now. So I'll hold that in there while it cures, and then pull it out, put more UV in the bottom, and then put it back in. It's a triple cast, I guess. I cast the head, cast it in the helmet, pull the helmet out, resin it, and then.
I almost feel like it's a little bit disrespectful when we see the other ones and we say, "Oh man, it's so simple, it's so good," because it's not simple. It's anything but simple. But I think the overall look, when you go, "Oh well, it's two different color body," but it's not just that, man. It's the combo, and then with the head and the glow.
We didn't end up talking much about that fucking James Earl Vader Jones.
Dope. Where did he say the face came from?
It was one of the Super 7 lines.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that face from again?
Tulsa Doom.
Tulsa Doom.
Bring him in. Let's
That
do
time?
it. It's time. Yes. What is up, dude? Man, I love that mask.
One thing, man, what is going on, my dude?
Good day.
Good day, good day. How are you?
Happy Toys Day.
Happy
Toys Day.
Happy Toys Day, man. Bro, that one. What do you think it is, dude? Do you think it's the sculpt on that particular creature, or do you think it's just the way that you've been doing them? Me personally, I think it's your color combos and like what you're doing, dude. Especially the ones, yeah, like that is cool. The oh, dude, that right there. What the fuck?
Like I have a hard time going like if I just went color, I don't know, I'd feel weird. I feel like I cheated everyone.
If it was just one color,
if it didn't glow.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm finding I'm just putting feelers out everywhere. Like anywhere you can buy a table, rent a table, flea market. There's tons of places out there. If anyone's interested in doing that, you just have to look for it. You know, they're not telling you what to put on a fucking table. You're just showing up and doing whatever the fuck you want to do, right? I'm like, I cleared the whole toy shanty just so I could work on a strictly apocalyptical, and then I just like every time I come in here, I just start doing something else.
Yeah.
Including making creatures. So I'm like, yeah, you can look at one of the posts. It's just like a breakdown of the clay from the 2-part mold. Excuse me, and then I stuck a whole bunch of stuff on the side of it, just so it looked better for the show. And then someone reached out to buy one, and I was like, I'm gonna cast that thing and send it to them. So she was the first one that got the surprise base.
Dude,
I've been sitting on that one for a while. I've just been wondering how to make it because he's so wobbly and like even when I cast him, he's super fucking wobbly. That's why I tried to make the base so he would stand, and then I started putting magnets in the feet, and I would like fuck it up and like break his foot apart. So like it was just something I kind of gave up on because it was just.
He looks really top heavy, man. It looks like,
yeah.
Like you can look at him, you can tell that like just
that's a good one.
Yeah, kind of tapers down and gets thinner and thinner. Yeah, you're right, Crumbs. That shit is sick right there, dude.
Yeah.
You can actually tell where his like original shorts were. They end up actually glowing a different color than the rest of them. So you can actually see his fucking stupid Batman shorts. Bootman shorts, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a goodie, man. I think you crushed that with the base on that. Magnet to
Yeah, it's a bit janky, but it's that's what I do.
Oh,
anyway, it's like, hey, as soon as I got the email from Andrew, I sent it over. I was like, hey, can you print this on a shirt or something? And she sent me all these options, and I was like, can you just do all of them for me? I paid her, obviously, but I was like, do it up.
Oh, wow. Nice, dude. Dude, that looks clean. That hat looks clean.
She does a good job.
Yeah, nice.
I just do what I do, and obviously I'm trying to get better at making the molds, which is a big thing for me because the better it is, the better what you're gonna get out of it, right? So I appreciate the craft, and you know, you look at a lot of the guys out there, like they've got a really nice resting heartbeat. You know what I mean? Where I come in and I'm like, just like there's so many things to do. I just start doing 15 different things in the toy shanty here. So it's just like it's nice getting into the shows because it's a theme thing where you're like focused on accomplishing something. And
you know, you just said you're not winning any awards for your sculpting. Is that another area that you ever try to focus on as far as improving?
In time for sure, yeah. And it's just finding the proper medium. I appreciate the epoxy sculpt for it's like the way it hardens and stuff. But if I could do wax, I would do wax. But it's just, I think it's just starting small. That's why I did the creature things were nice because they were like, you know, fingernail size. So I'm not wasting much material. And then because I did so many, it was good practice, different shapes, different, you know, whatever detail I'm trying to put in there, whether it's a shoelace or a fucking shoelace hole in the boot.
God damn. Yeah, dude. That is sick.
That's sexy.
But dude, look at the spine on the back there, dude.
Oh, Jazz, don't you say a thing.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's hot, man.
Oh.
Man, I wish I was in the giveaway too.
Dude, and you know what I just noticed? Look at you, dude. You fucking clever ass. You got there's actual feet imprints in here. It's where he stands on the base, which is really cool. So all together, dude, I love like the pink in there. Oh, dude, look at that as a piece. Dude, come on now. If someone asked you and came up to you into a show and said, "What got you into this?" what would your response be?
I've always made shit.
Just kind of making stuff as an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always had my hands on something and doing something fucking silly. But it's a lot different now. It's nice to be with people. You know what I mean?
Son of a bitch. All right, just slow it down. Slow it down. Let's get a nice pan of those. Shit.
I brought out some grails too if you want to see them.
Yo, fucking A. Let's do it.
Obviously.
There's even a corn man.
Bro, what is that emperor?
Fucking skulls everywhere.
Oh, that's a dope one. Yeah,
All
man.
over.
That was a limited run.
I got the real sucklord treatment. He made fun of whatever I was wearing, and I didn't even know who the fuck he was. So
yeah,
there you have it. So I was like, well, that was a great interaction we just had. Thank you for that. But that's just him, I think. You know.
I was gonna say that sounds about right, man. Honestly,
pretty lucky, I think.
Do you ever feel like you have to justify what you're doing by explaining it to someone? Like you said, someone picks it up and was like, "Oh, what is this? Some sort of soap carving?" And you have to go, "No, look, like I sculpted that by hand, and then I casted it. I made a mold out of silicone, and then I casted it." Do you find yourself doing that, explaining to people like what the whole process is?
No, I just don't care. They don't like it. I don't like them. Okay, bring me coffee next time. Make yourself useful.
Yeah. There's that too. You can do that.
Because you only need one person to be like, fucking right, that's awesome. That'll make your whole day, right? Or make a sale, or however you want to get your success for the day, especially if it's an in-person thing. Yeah. It's tough there because there's like a fucking amusement park right next door, right? And like there was whatever the October show they have like Friday nights. So it's just a big thing where it's all set up, like a big giant haunted house or however you want to put it. So you're like, there should be people there all day and night. Also going to that, and then, oh, hey, we're here. Let's go in there as well. And it's frustrating when there's not a lot of people roaming through there.
The fucking guitars, the glow, the UV. It's awesome, man. Thanks again for everything that you're doing, dude. Appreciate it.
Of course, you guys too.
What gem?
Gem.
What is going on, man? Happy birthday, by the way. I haven't even said that to you since seeing your cute little face tonight. You excited? You a little excited?
I'm always excited. This is always fun. It's going to be a good time. There's a lot to get through, though.
How I would not even mention that. B, as some of you may have noticed, they're not here this evening. They decided for their birthday they had cooler things to do. They were going to go in and do much neater things. But
I got nothing. I got nothing to do, so here I am.
Did you have anything that you wanted to get out of the way?
We can talk about when Kerf is in here. I want to talk a little bit about the background behind the donations and where it's going and all that stuff. I thought you were gonna pull Kerf in. All right, I'm on my own here. So Kerf is gonna talk a little bit about the show, and I guess I'll just bring up that the donations, any money that's made from this would be donated to the Wildland Firefighter Foundation. So if anybody doesn't know, I'm a federal firefighter, wildland firefighter. 27 years I've been doing that. So this foundation is a nonprofit organization that helps us anytime there's a line of duty death or serious injury. These folks step in and help the families of wildland firefighters that have been injured in the line of duty, or even stuff that's maybe not necessarily in the line of duty, but you're a firefighter and you need help. So it's not in my nature to brag, but this is important stuff, and I'm trying to break out of my shell to be able to support the Wildland Firefighter Foundation.
Oh, hey.
Also, I have to say, I looked this up. Kerfloss was on the very first Creatives Discussions, weren't you?
Probably.
I think you were on the first one. I think it was you and like Yucko and Suki, maybe. I don't remember who else was in there, but
I'm thrilled to see them all in one place. They're all kind of sitting over here at the moment, just seeing all the different colorways, all the different details people decided to like paint or not paint. Those who attempted to try to break the concrete. It's really incredible to see, and I'm really thankful to everyone who reached out and said they were interested in painting one. That they did so with enthusiasm, and just excited to show them off, and also thankful for John for mentioning the Wildland Firefighters Foundation. The conversations he and I have had about that role, it sounds grueling, what they go through, but I'm sure a lot of fun, as you said. And I guess I just also want to acknowledge that, like, when I started this a month ago, it was kind of really in the national headlines. But these families of the people who work out in the field, they need the help year round. Like it's not just a national attention issue. It's a everyday life for these families. Should we get into it?
Attempts to break the concrete. I want to hear more about that because I'm one of those. It was challenging to like break it and still keep it intact.
I think I was optimistic when my first attempt was pretty successful. Sean Hunter, who also did one of the pieces here, suggested that I just like etch some like cracks in the back and then just break against those. Once I figured that out and like did that for some of the remaining pieces I had, it went like a dream. I was just able to like carve away just the areas I wanted to. But yeah, some people ended up breaking 1.5 or something like that, but were able to restore it. So
you're saying smashing it with a hammer was a bad idea? I'll just say thank you on behalf of Wildland Firefighter Foundation for doing that. That's really cool of you. Really appreciate that. And man, what a cool idea! It's I don't know. You've done a couple of these, right? Where you gather other artists and do some collaborative work, and it's super cool to kind of bring everybody together like this. So thank you for doing that. That's really awesome.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to help. Yeah, I will sign off and stop blabbing.
Oh, he gone. Dude, you're on mute. You're on mute, bro. I love it. Like I said, it's a cool idea to kind of like bring everybody in. You know what I mean? Yeah, we do shows and stuff, but this is one of those like, I don't know, it's a little bit different where you have like his work and your work combined in one piece. That's pretty interesting.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Apocalyptico 4, dude. Holy shit. Like I said, nothing short of outrageous. As we expected, it lived up to the hype.
Huge, and actually, Kaji, man, huge thanks to you, dude. Those maps are not easy. You fucking crush it every time. Huge thanks to LM9, Tone Twisted Tiger, everybody who makes all these online shows happen, man. Like, thank you guys. You guys are literally the ones who, it's not just content, you also fueled our amusement last night as well. So it's enjoyable for us to consume this stuff, see what you're making, and appreciate all you guys that put the effort into making these shows happen. Something you're sitting there being like, oh shit, this is how a scene supports one another and builds a culture and a community, and suddenly you've got Zines and
exactly, without even thinking about it, right? Without even thinking about how
organically just building on each other, all these different creative minds, digging what the fuck their homie's doing, wondering how, oh, I need something and my buddy does it, so I'm going to incorporate them to do it. And before you know it, you've got collabs. Just
yeah, dude. Exactly, man. And it's very easy to see, how important it is that everybody is pulling for each other in the same direction. Because if one of those things fails, or someone has a bad experience with a sector of that, it could send shockwaves through the whole fucking thing, man. You know what I mean? Anyways, what's up with Homie Boys, man? Let's talk about this fucking thing, right?
You want to come on in, homie?
He's ready. He's like, I don't know. I've been waiting here for 2 fucking hours. You might as well have me on.
No, it's all good. No, I just didn't know when I was supposed to get on, so I was watching the show. I was like, they'll give me a heads up. I was like,
yeah. I start checking my messages, like, God, dude, I haven't really been on mine a lot. Dude, what the fuck, man? Like, let's talk about the idea first, just to go into plush.
I saw doll pieces there, just without the cloth and all that shit, just like the porcelain pieces. And I was like, damn, I wonder if I could fucking bootleg that shit. So that was just something I always had just kind of cooking in the back of my mind.
It's really, really, really well done, dude. I can't say it enough how good the fucking quality is, man.
How I started with this, I went to Walmart and I bought a doll and I cut it up. So where it attaches here, I cut that off of the baby doll I bought on each piece. And here's a fail I had. So this piece I cut off of the baby doll, and then I sculpted my original sculpt onto that. The fabric of the doll, I cut that up and I made a template out of it. So I made a template of all the pieces. And then, God, there's so much shit. So I start with that, made a template of the baby doll, did my sculpt, and then I did glove molds for the big pieces. So there's the head. I got both the legs. Figured I'd try and rotocast it, and that makes it more doll-like anyway to rotocast those pieces, because they're all hollow. And that's another thing I tried to do too, was I got some urethane rubber to make the pieces more rubbery, more like real doll-like. But the rubber just fucking stank.
What are your plans for this? I mean, it seems like you've already got a few different ones out there.
I'm just making them. Like I kind of wanted to see if I could pull it off.
Yeah.
And like it took a lot of fucking work to get that first one out. And I really didn't want to price them as high as I am, but it's just like it's a lot of fucking work. The custom ones that I've done, they're like the turtle one, which this one's not for sale anymore. I decided to keep it. Like this one took a long fucking time, because like I sewed the shell on there. I did all the sewing on all the bands around it. I did the headband. I had to sew all the shit on the front. Like this one was a ton of work, but I decided to keep that one. So yeah, all of them are on there, except for the turtle. I pulled that one. Yeah, and then those little stuffed dudes, I've been knocking them out too. I've been making those with my leftover scraps from the Gem Jaw dolls.
You've been doing some cool ass shit the last year, man. Not that you weren't before, but I feel like this and the dolls definitely pushed the boundaries of what you were doing before to a whole new, just like, let's see what I can fucking do thing.
That's kind of what it's been about lately for me. Is just kind of trying new shit.
That's crazy.
I was just looking at it today.
That's crazy. Those ones usually go very quick. As far as like the magazine in general, dude, what kind of things are you trying to put in there?
So like right now I'm gonna I'm working on some articles. I was thinking about writing about this Eno show. I'm writing about the collab I'm working on. Some short stories, shit like that. Drawings and other art and things. I was wanting to do like pinups, like the circus magazines back in the day, because I fucking loved hanging those on my wall growing up. Yeah. So I just thought it would be cool as shit to get people from the scene and fucking do pinups of them that we could fucking have and flip through. And if you're feeling frisky, go hang on your wall. I just thought that would be a cool ass idea.
It is, dude. I've been thinking about a fucking calendar for a fucking long time. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck if nobody buys it, dude. I just think it would be a funny thing to have or a cool thing to have. How do you go from one thing to the next? Are you trying to break it up, or are you trying to like finish one thing and then move on to the next? It seems like you got so many things going on at the same time.
Like I'm kind of just doing one thing one day and then work on the other thing the next day, and then it's kind of that's kind of how I've been doing it. I'll like focus on the shit after we eat dinner, or I'll work on it before dinner or whatever, and then I'll go cook dinner and then get back to it.
That's funny, man.
But yeah, so I got this in. We talked about it, and we decided that it needed shrunken down because making a mold of that would have been just fucking stupid. So I sent that out. I got a 3D scan done of it. Got the scan done, sent that over to get a resin print done, and I just got those in the mail, I think it was yesterday. Which these things like blew my fucking mind. Like, it's so crazy. So I gotta show this shit off.
Oh shit!
Get out of town.
Wow, dude.
Like yeah, they turn out so fucking clean.
God damn, that is clean, dude.
Yeah, so we're working on that. So I'm gonna be getting some molds knocked out here soon for those. He's working on all the header card art and stickers and all that shit. I think he just got those printed, so he's gonna be shipping them out to me soon. So yeah, pretty busy.
Yeah. Lots of smoked salmon. It's great. Yeah, on a bagel with cream cheese, some capers, dude. All day.
Enough about sandwiches. You want to pull Toxic Fumes toys in here?
Let's do it, man. Let's get busy. I'm staying in for this one. I know you got questions.
I'll bounce in and out. You know how it goes.
I am Toxic Fumes Toys from beautiful, at least sunny today, Ontario, Canada. Been making toys since I had to look back, like 2017 was when I started. And yeah, I still make them from time to time. My output isn't as big as it was, but yeah, I'm still hacking away at the odd stuff. My workstation's still a mess, so there's proof of life still remaining. Yes, so you've pieced together like half my origin story for sure. So I would say at that point in time, I was really big into like He-Man figures, like He-Man knockoffs. Like there's a bunch of them chilling back there on the shelf. So I was like really into those. I was spending at toy shows and things like that. And then I want to say, so just like looking at stuff on Instagram at the time before I knew anything about bootleg toys or anything, I think I just found Life is Terrible toys. And he posted something about like, oh, like this figure's sick. So while you guys are talking, I figured I'd go grab said figure. So he's like, this figure's sick, and he posted it. So I looked it up. I was like, oh, cool. It's made by this guy named the Angry Beast. That's pretty cool. Nice. So I checked out like his big cartel. I end up finding out he's Canadian. So it's like, oh, cool. Like shipping won't be too crazy. And we do the deal. A little bit of time. Like he just sends it to me. That's kind of it. Like I get it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Then fast forward, like maybe a few months later, I was also like heavily buying KOs off like Facebook groups, Instagram groups, and stuff like that. And I was buying some off a collector. And this collector also was like, there's like some other guy in Toronto who's also trying to buy all my KOs. And so I'm thinking like, all right, like I got somebody who I'm battling against here. And he's like, yeah. He goes by, and I was like, oh, like, what does he go by? He's like, oh, he goes by this name, like Lab Monkey number 9. So then I started like lurking his feed. And this was probably before Lab Monkey was as heavy into like what he's known for now. Like I feel a lot of it was like really big pieces. So if you look back, he has like this cool like Gizmo piece. He has this really cool Daredevil piece, but they were like, I think more one-offs, not as produced as he does now. So we started chatting over like Instagram, and then I found out that, oh, he also does like or he goes to toy shows. So then we ended up trading for like KOs, and I got one of his pieces. I have it on the shelf. I should have brought that into my first Lab Monkey one. But we made some deals for that, and then we just started chatting, and then I kind of got into the idea. And so again, like, I think you touched on it. Like then I was like, oh, like this is kind of cool. Would you help me make a toy? And then we kind of worked out a deal that I traded him toys for knowledge, and then I brought like a toy down. So like the first thing I ever made, the first molds, these would have been the ones I made with Lab Monkey, was for like the Creature Teacher.
2017 comes around, and you start messing around with this guy, right? Money Mantis.
Money Mantis. He wasn't the first one though. So the first, like the Creature Teacher was the very first thing. That's what Lab Monkey helped me cast. The first thing that like I ever cast, and this like shows my like I shot for the moon on this. Like I made this guy, Don Dragoon. He's huge. Like he's from a Cops and Crooks body, so like he's a hefty boy. He's like still about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. The head was like way above my pay grade at that point in time, like making that. But this was the first one like I shot for, and then I think I want to say the Don Dragoon or Money Mantis came after that. I think it came about. A friend of mine owned a place that I used to like work at just for trade called the Toy Society. Sadly, it's closed down. It was a vintage toy store. So I just kind of like went along a shelf or like wall of loose figures and was just like, what here would like look kind of cool together. The body for it is, I think, a bad guy from Bible Man is what it came from. And then everything else from it is from the Swamp Thing general. I have another one. That would be an example of a toy I cut up and then rebought later on because it's like, this toy is too cool not to. Yeah, that's a Slick Money Mantis. That one looks good.
It's everything that you said, right? It's also the name. I like the way the name flows. But then as a collector, when I get this, you obviously have, you know, the AD-LM9 magnetic protocol, which is great.
Absolutely.
It's very clacky. It's interchangeable. Everything is interchangeable. So as a collector, I think that's why, to me, this makes this a fun piece, because one of the best things about the Lab Monkey 9 pieces and this piece too, and I've done, you know, I've got all these pieces out at times and sat there for weeks and just swapped everything out and tried to make as many different things as I could. But that's one of the fun things about these. Like, it's so addictive to sit here and just do these magnets all fucking day.
It's funny you say that. So I remember going, I can't remember which show it was, but we were doing like a show where we had gallery stuff, like gallery style stuff set up. And I went in with my wife and I just started like swapping pieces of myself and other artists. And my wife, coming from like an art history background and stuff like that, was kind of like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you can't be touching this stuff. Like, these aren't yours. And I'm like, no, it's cool. It's fine. Like, that's what they're there for. And obviously, like, I had a little bit more leeway to pull that kind of stuff, but she was just like, her mind was blown when I just like went in and started swapping parts. This was like what I sent to like Decon with Mind's Eye Toys. This was like the prototype Tromer. There's very minimal differences about like him versus the finished product. It's actually pretty much exactly the same. The only thing is, originally I was gonna cast it so Toxic Crusader had like Blobby. So this was like Sudsy, his sidekick, which was just like a foaming over beer can that I had to go with him. That would really be the only difference between that and the final runs that I did. But otherwise, he still looks pretty much exactly the same. But that was the first one I ever made there. That was the one that Dove was like, hey, would you like to showcase these in a different way? And I did. And that was a learning experience. School can be boring, and I want to make it at least like somewhat funny, even if it's ridiculous. Like, do you know those like Nugget Buddies like McDonald's put out last year?
Yeah.
I randomly, a friend of mine gave me a bag full of them, and I just started crafting a story one day with like students who were in grade 5 at that point in time, like just leaving random nuggets all around my classroom. And we created this whole high drama around it. And right before like winter break, one of them looked at me and they're like, listen, Mr. C, you know, it's December. When are the nuggets coming back? And I was just like, oh. So like I've casted some nuggets now. So I may like, some students like may just get like a nugget at the end of the year as like a going away present or something like that. Or I'm just going to integrate them into the story. Like, all the nuggets from last year are dead. These are just the ghost of the nuggets that are left. But we'll see how dark I get.
How does it feel knowing that like a bunch of galleries, different stores have had your work in it across the world, aka even in the States especially?
Yeah, man. Like it's weird. That's a really good question. Like it's something that like I don't necessarily take myself seriously in like doing this stuff. I don't like even like really refer to myself as ever like an artist, but like I remembered like one time I was just like at a meeting at work, and it was like some team building thing that I'm not the biggest fan of, because like, you know, let's just get this done so I can go home. But it's like, tell something about you that no one might know. And I think at that point in time, that was just when I had sent my stuff down to like Gallery 1988. And like, that was a big deal, like getting tapped on the shoulder from them. Like, would you be willing to do this? And it's like, shit, like I bought prints from you guys. Like, you are legit, like in this pop culture world too, like to do this. And I was like, well, like, I mean, I have like some toys on display. Like I have some art on display right now in a gallery in Los Angeles. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, I make toys.
So one, this is the gallery 1988 one that you were speaking of, which very dope to see your actual toys.
To Snapfink Toys, I think it was, who took all those pictures for me, because the online presence wasn't that great. And I saw they were there. I'm like, dude, is there any way you can take a picture of my shelf? And he's like, yeah, I'm on it. And then he took like a whole bunch of pictures. And those ones were like unbelievably fun for me. So those are a mixture, some of them, of like, that's different. I tried not to paint too much. So like if you look at some of those, like yellow would obviously be all natural. The capes are not painted on those. The skateboards typically aren't painted. I tried to mix it up a bit while I was doing those as well, but just for color matching, like paint also made it easier on those. Like if you look at his arms, I don't want to pour just an arm's length and hope I get it right to the cuff. Like I wanted those lines to be like a little tighter on those, which I couldn't achieve simply with creative pouring and angles like I once tried to do. But those Bartman of the Universe, like I also like thoroughly enjoyed those. Like those things were so much fun for me, where it's like I had those ones. I had like Green Lantern ones. I did one for like the GI Show. I did a Cobra Commander and a Destro one. Just making Bart into different things and the idea behind the multiverse. One of my favorite artists for the longest time has been DLL Customs. The stuff they create is beautiful, for lack of a better word. Their use of colors, their use of pours, the stuff that they create. And like they reached out to me after that and they're like, yo, your piece was actually really sick. I love that stained glass window. And I said, I'm like, man, like I'm ripping off your style doing that. Like you are the reason I made that stained glass window, because like your stuff always had these big things with like natural colors. So like those ones, like that's all resin coloring in those ones. It's taking a syringe and like putting red in all of like the gaps that go in that one. And then once I had like that baseline done, I would just like lay it down and just start like pouring different colors in and mixing and swirling and gently placing it into the pot so they wouldn't like all just mash into one color. But like I was so proud of those. Like I love those toys so much. And the fact that like DLL hit me up and was just like, these are sick. It's like, thank you. Like that was so cool that like he was willing to pay me that compliment.
That's like saying, oh yeah, I watched my friends pass kidney stones and thought to myself, hot damn, I hope one day.
Well, you know, and it's just like what I was saying was I was looking at the notes and we said Pikmin at 6:40, 40 minutes in. Look at the time, baby, 6:39. What you think, Lee? We're right on schedule, my guy. Oh, Jesus.
I like that. Someone was looking around before the show. Oh my God.
Look at that. What is that? What are you drinking? That's
Cheers, my friend.
That's Concord grape juice. You know it.
What a handsome devil, too. My goodness, man.
Dude.
You must be getting warm.
I've got to say, I'm a little disappointed that nobody else got the notes on the dress code tonight. I'll be honest. When I got to Assembly Required this year with the mustache, it was a moment of shock that I could pull it off. And then, yeah, it stuck.
So what you working on, man? Let's talk about the giveaway that you got. Now let's go back to when you cooked up this whole freaking idea.
So yeah, I can do the.
Look at this. Wow.
I came prepared for a demonstration.
Sure did.
So it was. I will give partial credit for kicking this off to a couple of people. One being my business partner in Pikmin's, Mike, who also goes by Mike Alvarez Art. Look him up. And then Kajeki and Cave Dweller because of GI Show, because I did that piece for GI Show, which was a similar concept. And as soon as I did that, it was a moment of, I think there's something with this. And I started bouncing ideas off some people. And I finally landed on the first two that I thought would really kind of land the general idea and feel without being too much of a parts investment for it to be a risk. It's weird and pissed off, whatever it is. And I went very classic Play-Doh, complete with the actual classic Play-Doh children on the back. And then the killing spree at Camp Crystal Lake, which of course is Friday the 13th. And it's such a simple concept, but it's so fun. So for anyone watching that needs instructions, that has one or plans on getting one, it's really simple. You take a bunch of dough, you smush it in, but once it's in there, you want to take a hunk of dough and sort of push it in there, and it's going to help give you the friction to pull the. See, I have this prepped, so it's actually a little stiffer than the dough normally is, but there we go. A nice Jason Voorhees. And then because it's dough, he can actually hold his machete. And then this set comes with a press mold for Jason, press mold for 2 different victims who you can then, got a nice pickaxe there.
I hope you were giggling the whole time making these.
And of course, so it's one male victim, 1 female victim. So of course you can use the female victim and play final girl and take Jason out, but then you just remold him because he keeps getting back up. So yeah, that comes with the press mold for Jason, press mold for male and female victim, 5 different weapons, and a campfire to smush the victims onto. And something that I'm really proud of that is a really weird thing, but I'm using a softer resin for all of the weapons, so they all have a slight flex to them. So the first time ever, I can say these are genuinely children-safe toys. So, like, yeah, they look pointy, but they're not going to stab you. They're just going to bend. But they're sturdy enough to take the dough. And then on the other end of things, we've got It's Weird and Pissed Off, whatever it is, which, for those of you that don't know, is based directly on John Carpenter's The Thing and is actually a line from the movie from when they're going into the kennel to get the dog. And there you've got McCready. And the dog, of course, acts similarly to a lot of the old hair salon sets.
Oh, man.
So it grows tentacles out of its back.
Okay, but the head on that has me completely boggled as well.
But that's not all. So the head is resin, but it's fit on a simple ball joint. You can pop that off, and it comes with a 2-piece press mold. You just jam the dough in there, sort of smush it together, and then smush it onto the head, and just like that, you've got a dough version of the head that you can manipulate to make the dog mutate. Wave 2 is in the works.
Oh.
Wave 2, one of the sets will be Hellraiser.
Oh, shit.
The other set I'm not going to name, but I will say it's a property that makes a lot of people our age cry for one particular scene. I'll leave it at that, and I'm doing that scene. This is one of the molds for the press molds, and check out how trippy this looks.
Whoa.
Would you say easier or more complicated?
A little bit of both, because you have to be able to construct it in a way that once you put the dough in, it comes out clean. So that in itself is a challenge.
And series 1 that you have is completely sold out, correct?
It is. I am going to do one more run of Wave,
okay.
Probably within the next 2 weeks or so. I'm currently, I'm going to give a quick shout out to a bunch of things. I'm currently involved in like 4 different shows. So this Saturday, the 22nd, is the next General Enos show from ETC Toys, which I've got a piece in.
Nice.
And then in April, there's Robot Resurrection. I believe that is April 21st. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. And then immediately after that, I am part of the Muppet Show at Toy du Jour.
Oh, nice.
And then in May is Oops All Zartans, the next GI show.
Damn, you're right. That's a lot coming up.
So,
and you're doing pieces for all of those.
So I've got pieces for all of those. Some of them, most of them are in the works already, plus more dough sets coming up, or more dough sets in the works. But the next run is in progress, being cast. So it's just a matter of getting them done before I'm comfortable releasing them.
We started up here, but good Lord, we are going to be busy. Big show tonight, dude. Lots of stuff going on. We were talking before the show about what we got for next week, and Feral Foundry is next week. So got lots of things happening, man. But these 2 shows are going to be killer, dude. You obviously saw the post by saving them. But man, holy smokes, dude. What a weekend, right?
What a weekend. And you know, man, what I loved about this show in general was just the vast diversity amongst the pieces. And I think both of them, obviously, because when we go to look at the Galactic, Graffiti, Funk, Robotica one, I've got that absolutely fucked up. But so many different styles of artists in that one, including people who did like little designs and actual art, like hand-drawn art and paintings. And then, of course, a bunch of kit bashes and fucking casts. But then it was even actually sick, that Enos one, man, seeing how many people just manipulated the hell out of that original vinyl sculpt. And it really, really showcased like just how much you can actually do to some of these pieces to get a custom, man.
So, man.
Dude, you definitely put together a good lineup, a roster of humans for this show, man. Knocked it out of the park.
But yeah, another great one, Tim. That was a super cool show, dude. It's an awesome figure. It's a huge, intimidating figure, and to see it in a bunch of different lights is really, really cool, man. Additional arms. There were some soft goods. The paint work from everybody was just killer. Congrats to everybody who submitted something in that show. It was nice, very, very nice. Let's do it, man. Now, this was from Tate Feed, who's here in the audience, the original Cash brand, the Future Retroistic magazine show.
It's nice. It's better than nice. It feels authentic. And if you have authentic memories, you have real human responses. Wouldn't you agree? It's nice. It's better than nice. It feels authentic. And if you have authentic memories, you have real human responses. Wouldn't you agree?
Shout out to all the dudes and all the human beings out there that ended up making some pieces, and beautiful work. Thanks for letting us fucking participate and seeing all the work you guys fucking made.
I was gonna say, I mean, as crazy as it gets sometimes, dude, it really is easy to just look at cool shit and talk about cool shit. I mean, anybody can do that, especially when it's really cool shit. Everybody saw it here first. 151 episodes in. Boom! Nailed it. Feral Foundry is in the waiting room.
Without further ado, do you want to slide them in here? Get them chatting about what they do?
Let's do it.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Boom.
Oh man, dude! I did not realize the eyes on that particular one light up.
Yeah, all of them did, and they all flicker as well. I wanted it to look really like deranged, messed up. Like the others, they're all like tipped and stuff. This still looked really fucked up. So I got special flicker bulbs, and yeah, all of them had flashing eyes. There were like 2 orange ones and 2 red ones. And yeah, so this is what you can win today if you entered the giveaway.
For the audience at home, would you like to take a moment and introduce yourself? Tell them who you are, what you do.
No worries. Yeah, I'm Ben. So I make toys under the Feral Foundry. I've been doing it about 3 years now. And most of my stuff is trying to be like a sort of horror stuff, like Lovecraftian horror, but with like a 90s aesthetic. I was really inspired as a kid by mini boglins. I fucking love these things. I have about 60 of these things, and my whole toy career has been trying to make these. I've also got a line of robots, stuff like that. I make stuff. So I make stuff for a living for other people, and this is just a way to extend that skill set and the tools I have access to keep myself sane. So that's me. That's the Feral Foundry.
I don't think I'd realized how large that freaking creature figure was till you're holding it. That's a full-out action figure, man.
Yeah, that was the goal. I hadn't really made anything to this size before. So yeah, I wanted to go a little bit bigger. I wanted to get a bit better with the articulation and obviously the lights and stuff. Something I still want to look at a bit more, but just I've got distracted with another thing that I'll tell you about later. But yeah, no, it was really good. I really liked the show because I was never going to do this otherwise, and I nearly didn't do it. And I spent about 2 days banging my head against the wall trying to get this sculpt to work, and then it just sort of came together, and then it just sort of rolled on from there, which is really cool. But yeah, I want to do bigger stuff. I've always wanted to do bigger stuff because this kind of feels like the 90s toys, like the Ninja Turtles and stuff like that I had, like the transforming ones. So yeah, that is definitely a goal, and I'm hoping later in the year to do another thing like this, but with a bit more. I kind of want to do a transforming one. I'm not there yet, but we'll see if we can. So yeah, I was quite happy with this. It's nice to have something chunky. They pop in really nicely. 2 magnets does it in half, steel ball bearing. So yeah, I had to set the legs because otherwise it just wobbled everywhere. But yeah, and also a little magnet in the waist that you can't really tell, and there's your battery pack. So yeah,
dude, can you take the arm off again and show the socket on the inside right there? God damn, dude. So you got 2 magnets in there. Is that right? Holding that ball in. Look at that. Holy shit.
The engineering on that is absolutely brilliant, man.
Bro.
Thank you. Like my latest thing that's coming out soon, I've got some fantasy sculpts, and they are very much in the style of these guys. They're about the same scale. And this is the production master. So I've actually got, hang on.
Those also remind me a lot of just like how you're saying the TMNT, like the Playmates lines, they used to come with like little companion pieces.
Yeah.
And dude, those put me so in mind with like, the little companions that would come with like your TMNT figures and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about those. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So yeah, that's my next foray. I've got 5 sculpts of these. I put like a message out to a community, and I was like, would you like blind bags? Would you like not? And about 50-50 went, I would only buy these if these are blind bags. And the other guys were like, oh, I don't like blind bags. So I'm going to release them as blind bags and as not blind bags. And then also, because a bunch of my nerd mates who are painters asked if they could paint them, I'm going to do some painters blanks as well. So that's going to be fun. And also, because I get carried away, each one is going to come with a dice, a sticker, and if you go on my website, there's going to be some rules so you can actually play a little game with these guys. This year is the first time I've ever really put them together with the Noxious Avenger, because I wanted to have like a Shoggoth riding a thing for ages, and it never really came together until this. So it's just I'll have an idea, and I'll wait until I'm able to do it, and then we'll do it. I get hyper focused on something, and I want to make as many as I can in the best I can, as quickly as I can. Like and honestly, just in the trying to work stuff out, you end up with loads more than you intended to. These are something I wanted to renew the line of my my shoglings, and like I took these in with other stuff that they're fun and they're a dump mold basically. And I thought I had like 10-15 of the things, and by last count I had about 76.
What would you say is so far like your experience with going from not really knowing about a toy community to now participating in some of these bigger online shows?
Weird. It's very odd. But kind of, I don't know, vindicating is the word I'd use, because I've always just made little stuff. And up to a point, it was just like, I'd make something, it would sit on a shelf for like 6 months and then probably get thrown away or something, like I as much as I don't like making stuff without a purpose, the will to make stuff is overwhelming. So stuff gets made anyway. And the best part about that is, I mean, not only is Lab Monkey number 9 the best human being, but like it just giving it focus. Like I was never gonna make like a post-apocalyptic thing that was not on the cards. And I'd even like in my head, I was like, okay, my Shoggoths are always gonna be like kind of cutesy, and I'm never gonna give them a weapon and stuff. But now I'm like, cool. Give him a bat and some Boudicas. That's it. You know, it's a new thing. It's different and it's violent, but it's like once a year I get to make these post-apocalyptic things. And if it happens again next year, I'm gonna do something with a little smoke machine in it, hopefully. But we'll see if that comes. If if it doesn't, I hope people forget this. But yeah, no, it's really cool. Just to because it's like a here is a subject, do that. And that is something that I always like rallied against in school. I would really hate doing like art projects. It's like, oh, I have to tie it back into some asinine subject that means nothing. But now I'm like, oh, cool, I get to make a fish man, or I get to make it, you know, like, and being part of a community is really cool as well, because it's just being part of something bigger than oneself. The other day, I was having a look at some of my older robots, and I'd like to try and remake those with a slightly higher poly count, because I was a bit limited by the software I was using, so everything kind of had a bit of like a almost like a PS1 aesthetic, because some parts just you could see the chamfer on it. So yeah, I think probably my next big thing after I've put my RPG Shoggoths out and the plant, I'm going to go back and look at the robots and see if I can push them a bit further. So the part of doing this new plant is because I love this thing. This is still one of my favorite sculpts, and I've actually done a new batch of them with this like mica powder. But like this just has so much more detail, like the veins and stuff, and like the teeth is a separate part and things. So this is sort of I want to go back and do like some spiritual successes, so I can take what I did then and a concept that I thought was strong and just iterate. I'd really like, and I know a lot of the comments on the giveaway post the other day were really into Jack the Mad, my pumpkin Shoggoth. I might and revisit that for Halloween. I think that'd be cool. But yeah, no, that's always the thing, because I kind of don't want to make older things obsolete.
Did you have more of those for sale?
Yeah, so there's I made 4 in total. I sold 1 on the night, so it was the other clear one with yellow eyes, and then if you'll give me a moment, I did 2 painted ones in my normal Project Kraken style. So there's like the teal one and the red one, and the teal one has orange glowing eyes and the light up eyes even, and the green one has red eyes. So they're on my shop right now, actually, on the feralfoundry.com. So
oh, nice. Okay.
I printed them like this because I bought some green resin for another project, and then didn't need it. So I was like, well, I'll print them in this because that looks kind of cool. And then when I was showing friends and stuff the early in progress shots, they're like, oh my god, that looks amazing. Is that how you're gonna sell them? I was like, well, no, I wanted to paint them, but I guess I will now. So I just made 2 that were sort of blanks because I don't know, it looks good enough. It looks cool, and people responded to it. And I think that I always, you know, I'm always going to make stuff because I think it's cool. But if someone really voices an interest in something and thinks it's really good, then I'd be silly not to try.
Obviously, you want your customer to be happy, and you're very good at achieving that. But does it distract from what you want to do at all?
Yeah, consistently, honestly. Like you've hit the nail on the head, absolutely. I make stuff because I like making stuff. At no point have I ever wanted to own a shop. At no point have I wanted to, you know, work in customer service, particularly on top of the job I already do at work. It's really rewarding, honestly, because people are so nice, especially the people who buy this kind of stuff are just really nice people, and they're really understanding. If something goes wrong, they're pretty cool. But it's just like, yeah, it's the hardest part of it. And I kind of wish if I was successful enough, and this is like a real pipe dreamy thing, I would get someone to do that for me. Like if I could not do that, I'd do it. But like, it's just a constant thing I have to remind myself to do. Like making sure I have enough like packaging material and stuff, and like just like the right size of boxes, and especially doing custom stuff, like whether it's like a Jiffy bag, whether it's like, you know, 5 sizes of boxes, and having storage for that. That's about it, right? There will be more stuff coming alongside that, but that's my focus right now. Obviously, if you like what you saw, please follow me on Instagram. If you see anything on my website that is not available, hit me up, because we can sort it out. Also, like a lot of the robots I just haven't put on the store yet, and things like that. So please, you know, get in touch if you're interested in anything.
We got a good show tonight, man. We got Acid 9 toys. We have a lot of stuff to look at as far as pieces go. I have some, you have some. It should be a good one, man. We got a killer giveaway. If people were looking at Acid 9's account before we started here, there are a few of these Onis on there, which are actually super cool.
I'm just about to pull up their page, actually. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's the trick.
Yeah, there it is. I remember that from last time now, too. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Super sick, man. All hand painted. Very nice. Yeah.
You want to pull these lovely individuals in tonight?
Let's do it, man. I am ready. Right. We are right on the ball. 6:15, 6:14, early even. How about that?
Every now and then we can do it. You guys good?
Yeah.
We're going to slide them in.
Here we go.
We bombarded you. We've ambushed you. How are you?
Acidine Toys, how are you?
We are doing great.
Doing great. Excellent, excellent. We, of course, chatted to you a little bit before we ended up hopping on here, but for those at home, you want to take a moment and introduce yourselves?
We are Acid 9 Toys. We were also formerly Quest Miniatures, but once we quit doing that, we decided to be Acid 9 Toys because making toys is an Acid 9 idea. Making toys is crazy.
You gotta be comfortable with failure.
You had a different account name before Acidine?
Well, before when we were doing just miniatures, we were doing Quest Miniatures, and that was, pewter spun miniatures for like tabletop wargaming and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the page. Yeah.
Now, were you making those?
Yeah. So these are all these are all original sculpts and stuff.
Wow.
Okay.
When did the 3D printing or sculpting start for you?
So when we first decided I wanted to start making miniatures, I wanted to start producing stuff, it was 2016.
Okay.
And I figured out how to went over the steps about how to do the spin casting for metal miniatures. Sure. And then I contacted an artist to do a sculpt of Etsy of a Jason Voorhees character. Mm. And that was the first one we did. And after that, I did found another artist that did Spawn. We made a Spawn miniature. And then the big break was when I hired that same artist that did Spawn to do the He-Man miniatures. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I hired an artist to make the sculpts for the He-Man miniatures. They were traditionally sculpted in epoxy putty.
Okay.
And then we turned them into pewter miniatures. Yeah, so those are the original sculpts.
Oh man,
in the green.
Great.
And then we made them into metal. And once that was going, it was going well, and we decided to go to PowerCon, which is the He-Man convention in California in 2017.
Okay.
And that was the first convention we went to. It was pretty crazy. We went down there and it did pretty well. So when we came back, we did another set. And then I was showing my wife, Sylvia, Mrs. Acid, some 3D sculpting videos on YouTube. And she's like, oh, I could do that.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, so the next day I bought her all the stuff to do that.
Oh, nice.
Nice. And then her with no art background or anything, just her natural talent. She figured out how to do it. She did some YouTube tutorials, a little online course, and she was away. She finished making a lot of the He-Man miniatures and the Galaxy Warrior miniatures and all that other stuff we were doing. We developed more about 3D printing. We got better at 3D sculpting. The technology, I started at, I think the Photon, Anycubics Photon was one of the first 3D printers I got. And we're on our 8th one now. A real trick for me is that 3D UV cure resin does not like silicone.
I was going to ask, actually, I know that in your interview with Toys on Tap, you mentioned like there was an inhibitor issue when you were trying to use the silicone. So it's almost like you have to use the UMU for your molds. But then, of course, as everybody knows, like the UMU longevity isn't quite there. So have you found a workaround with that at all?
Yes, the clear coat from Vinyl Wonder Paint has been the cure to that problem. Best thing about having your wife being the sculptor, because no other artist would put up with my nonsense. Like she'll be at the computer sculpting, I'll literally be hovering over her shoulder, peering over, like, can you adjust that just a little bit? Just tweak that a little bit. And then 5 minutes later, it's like, no, that was too much. Can we go back a little bit? Probably to the point of nauseam that only her love can contain.
Well, the good thing is, though, is based on her reaction, you know when to stop. You know when enough is enough. You know by her reaction, like, okay, yeah, no, you're right. That's great. That looks perfect to me.
That's definitely a good cue. I'll go and I'll have a nap on the couch and let that air out until.
Yeah, just step away.
Dan's very passionate, so he will describe something almost till death. Like he's so specific, and he does little drawings, and he will go over again and again and again just to make sure that he got it all out, and then he'll repeat himself just in case. He kept going on and on about having difficulty with sculptors and trying to get his point across, and I got to the point that I was like, that's it. Don't worry. I got it. I need to stop talking about this. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
With the small stuff, I was having a hard time with the molding. And then that's when I came up with the 3.75 Skullmaster. And I just, because I was just doing a test, that's the same simple articulation.
if I was going to go back and redo it, I'd want to add the waist and the head movement too. But I mean, I love that you get one sculpt and then you can just scale things up. Oh, man. And, you know, you get the best of all the toy worlds, which is what I love. I love having all the different sizes.
When is that one going to be for sale, dude?
Well, I already did a small run of this. It was on my store and for sale. I mean, I didn't feel I was getting a lot of traction on it. But since the post of this video about me coming on, I saw a lot of comments, people talking that they really liked it, especially the glow in the dark and the Skeletor one. This was my first attempt of doing the Fufubi. This is a hollow cast. And it's actually held together with with a bungee cord, kind of like there's an O-ring bungee cord system like the G.I. Joe inside there. You know, because it's 8 inches tall, less material.
Holy shit.
When we did the Rad Punk.
Yeah. And
that's simply it's a pin with a raised up bump on it, just like a Glyos pin, but just bigger for bigger figures. But the trick is that you cast the torso in a slightly softer resin, and that gives you the nice pop. The torso is soft enough that it just snaps, it just plugs back together, but adds enough tension for the nice posability. You know, and then the backpack even has the same plug, and the head plugs on, snaps back on.
Smart.
But the arms and the legs are cast in regular 327, so it's harder than the torso. So the torso is all female plugs, and everything else is a male plug.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then the hard resin snaps into the soft resin. And once we figured that, I was like, ooh, that's a nice way to do it. And so that's the same articulation that you'll find in the Onis. This was just some cool art on the internet, and I'm like, oh, my lovely wife, would you please turn this into a toy? And then she turns it into a toy.
Oh my God, dude. Is manufacturing for people, is that something that you would be interested in someday?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's that. I'm a maker. Like that's my thing. You know, the whole, that was the thing with the miniatures, is I love making the stuff. You know, doing that process, making molds, cutting rubber, spin casting, trimming stuff, figuring out how to do that process. I did dabble with the electrolysis and started plating some stuff and had some pretty good results. Needs to be fine-tuned a little bit. Needed to do a little bit more research, like knowing to do the first layer in nickel so that the copper part of the mold doesn't oxidize on the vinyl. It's so hard to know what people want. I want to give people what they want so bad. That's my main goal. I just want to, you know, if I knew what you want, you'd get it.
Oh, that's great.
So this is an original character idea. We have a whole line of them. This is the Dynamites. Well, we're probably going to retool these and do them as a Safubi, because I printed one once that was a lot bigger. And it's like, it feels better bigger. We've got 6 characters already done. Got the art, got logos, going to have a big poster. Yeah, there we go.
Wow. It sounds like you have the right frame of mind. I don't even know what the right frame of mind is to be in when you're doing something like that. But everything that you're saying sounds right. You know what I mean? You're obviously doing it, and you've acquired a lot of the stuff to do it. So,
well, and it's watching this show. It's watching all the other artists. It's learning from all the other artists, watching the YouTube videos, watching what other people are doing, seeing how they're making it work, trying it yourself, troubleshooting those to something that works for you. The joy of being able to make something that somebody else appreciates is totally worth it.
Homie, thank you for joining us. Apparently, it was a fun one this week. B was talking to you about joining, and I didn't know what was going on, but B let me know that you knew what was going on. You didn't know what was going on. I think it was like Monday evening. You ended up checking in, being like, hey, is this what's happening? And I never know what the fuck is happening. Let's be real.
I invited myself, is the truth. I was like, dude, I really want to be on the show, and I will do anything to make you leave so that I can be on the show with Crumbs one time again. Quite a few tabs, I guess. I have a feeling there's a bunch of stuff I didn't even get to, but the stuff that I did get to, man, there's a lot, and there's some really good stuff. I'm stoked. Super stoked.
Tons of great stuff. Tons of various mediums. God damn it, man. Fuck. That's the existence right there, man. 20 minutes in, they've talked so far about boners, and they've made dog calls and rubber chicken noises. All right.
Woo! Let's get started. He's so good now. It's crazy.
He was another person who didn't want to sign up because he wasn't sure if he could finish something for the show. And then when he dropped the piece that night, I was like, were you in the show and I didn't know and I didn't send you any of the emails? Like, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. He's like, no, I didn't sign up because I didn't. I was like, okay, all right. But like, still, like, there were a couple of people who signed up didn't end up posting anything. And I think sometimes that happens where you forget you sign up.
All right, gang. Thank you everybody for hanging out, chiming in, giving us a bunch of information that we would have been missing otherwise.